Now, let's meet the starting lineup for the visiting Minnesota Timberwolves. At guard, Mike Conley. At forward, Jaden McDaniels. At center, Rudy Gobert. At forward, Julius Randle. At guard, Anthony Edwards. The visiting team head coach, Chris Finch. Number 45, Keon Johnson. At forward, 6'9", number 8, Kareem Williams. At guard, 6'5", number 1, at center, 6'11", number 33, Nicholas Claxton. At forward, 6'8", number 2, Ken.
Thanks for joining us here on 2K Sports for NBA basketball. I'm Kevin Harlan. With me tonight, Greg Anthony and Coach Stan Van Gundy. And on the sideline, our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. And here we can check out the story for Rudy Gobert.
And the stat to look at is his steal total over the last 5 games. He's been focusing more on his defense, trying to be a disruptor, and it's made them a lot tougher on defense.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Edwards on the wing. He's joined by McDaniels. Gobert is out there with Julius Randle, and it's Conley in at the 1. And for Brooklyn, down on the block, it's Johnson with Claxton. Russell is out there with Johnson, and it's Williams at the 3. Boy, the regular season is coming to a close very quickly here, Stan. It's been a great year, hasn't it?
It's been incredible. Look, the talent level, the skill level in this league, night in and night out, just continues to get better. We see guys making great leaps. I just don't know where the end of this is, Kevin. It just is incredible.
And how lucky are we to get this front row seat? Oh, my goodness.
Every night, we are lucky.
Pass to Johnson. Good, and the assist goes to Russell.
Using outstanding floor awareness there. Russell's ability to pick apart the defense and find the open man.
Now here's Randle. Over Johnson. True on the 14-footer.
And he's not going to miss many of those, especially that wide open.
And it is dangerous to let him get it going this early.
Here's Johnson. It's Claxton high post. Gobert on him. Shoots a fader. Off the left rim and out. The Brooklyn Nets come into this one after a win against Dallas. Conley against Russell. Gobert with a screen for Conley. Lets it go from deep. That's no good. Misses his first shot of the night. Conley against Russell. Over Conley. Russell no luck. For Minnesota, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Here's Randall. And the basket is good, and he's got a chance here for one more at the line.
Just naturally strong. We've seen more than one defender sort of just bounce off Randall. He's used to it.
One time from the line.
Greg, this is some kind of note. Last year, Minnesota, for just the second time, had ever won a series in the postseason.
Yeah, they've been bounced in the first round, 10 of 12 appearances. But last year's team was different. Their elite defense fueled the conference finals run.
Now, here is Russell. He's making his presence felt offensively with his scoring average up there at almost 13 points a game. Timberwolves have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Here's Edwards. It's good. He scores. That's his first basket after missing his first 2 attempts. Now 1 for 3.
Well, Edwards will fight you on every possession. He gets the loose ball and instantly attacks.
Claxton against Gobert. Claxton the pass to Russell. Outside Williams. Shot clock at 6. Will it go? And he gets the basket. Officials blowing the whistle, so a chance at the line for one more.
Yeah, exceptional play there to take the bump and still get it to fall.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
First team foul. At the line, shooting for Brooklyn, Zaire Williams. At the line, 1 shot.
And that one falls for Williams. Since moving back to Brooklyn in 2012, the Nets, Greg, have won just 2 playoff series.
And just think about the all-stars they've had. KG, Pierce, Durant, Kyrie, Harden. I could name more. The Nets just haven't been able to put it together.
Well, smart idea from McDaniels, looking to convert inside.
And Jordi Fernandez has called a timeout. He's made the decision. He wants to huddle up with his guys. Only 3 games until the start of the playoffs. Let's see how the West will be won. You look at the Timberwolves. Right now, the 6th best record in the conference, looking to hold on to playoff position and finish the regular season strong.
And I think for Minnesota, most of the preseason predictions were right on the money when it came to them. I mean, a playoff contender, but not necessarily championship caliber.
Well, sometimes those teams that are on the edge can be the most dangerous. They play like they have something to prove.
Now, here is Russell. Down low. And Claxton throws it down.
And slick dish there in the pick and roll. Russell showing his elite feel for the game.
Outside Edwards. Conley with the screen on Johnson. Here's Edwards. Second shot opportunity. Rebound by Johnson.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
And now we've got some time to check in from the sidelines. You got for us, DA?
Thanks very much. Was able to talk with Jordi Fernandez for a minute. The first thing Coach brought up, Rudy Gobert, the multiple-time Defensive Player of the Year. They're worried about Rudy's length, of course, saying it causes total havoc around the rim. So the counter is lots of threes and avoiding Gobert in the lane. The French center still with a massive effect on the game plan. Devin?
Thank you, David. Here's Johnson. Michael Conley making his last shot. Pass to Russell. Over Conley. And it's Russell missing. Minnesota leading by 4. Randall kicks to Gobert. It's Edwards on the wing. Rebound, Brooklyn. This is their first chance this season playing the Timberwolves. And here is Williams. Back to Johnson. Another shot. And he lays it up and in. Johnson's got his second bucket.
And that's a lesson for the D. Fight harder on the glass.
Yeah, they need to pay attention to the details. Second chance points are backbreakers.
For three, Edwards drills the three-pointer. Edwards got 5 points so far.
Well, you have to be careful with Edwards on the arc because he is completely fearless.
Paxton a screen on Conley. Pass to Williams. Johnson outside. That's good for his third bucket. Now 3 for 6 from the field.
Well, credit the screen there, springing him loose for the finish.
Now McDaniels. Randall from outside. A shot missing. And it's Williams with the ball for Brooklyn. They trail by 3. They want to keep it rolling here following the win against Dallas.
Yeah, they got into a terrific flow offensively, but a lot of that was because the defense they were facing was mediocre.
Yeah, but even against weak defense, your execution still matters. Luckily, they were able to take advantage.
And so the ball out of bounds. Gobert touched it last. And now let's take a look again at that incredible rejection.
And boy, did he get up quick to reject that shot. That's as fundamental as defense gets.
Wilson, he's checked in for the Nets. Dante DiVincenzo, he's checked in for Minnesota. And we got a timeout here called by Jordy Fernandez. This will give him a chance to discuss some potential alterations.
Turn it up, Nets fans, for your
All right, a chance to check out stats for DiVincenzo. They've gotten some big performances from him since the All-Star break. He's right around 13 points a night, 4 assists and 4 rebounds. He's been making the right decisions and letting the game come to him. Solid play all around.
Well, he's found his groove. He isn't forcing anything, and he's making the most of his chances.
Here is Conley. After D'Angelo Russell's bucket, Mr. Gobert. Conley surveying the D. He gets that one.
Whoa, he really got his defender on his heels on that one. What a fantastic play, guys.
Outside Wilson. Nets passing it around. Johnson with it. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
Conley, the pass to Edwards. Conley dishes to Gobert. A 3 for DiVincenzo. The shot goes in. First shot, first basket.
Yeah, nice read by Gobert. I mean, he's providing an assist. That is a big bonus.
You know, when Rudy Gobert is down low, it strikes fear into the opponent. This is a guy who has led the league in blocks and rebounds at different times. Inside the paint, he is just a nightmare to battle with. Matching baskets from the perimeter, an earmark of today's game.
Yeah, sometimes you get in a shootout like this, but you just hope that you can get a stop first.
Now, here's Johnson. Anthony Edwards unable to get his last shot to go in. There's the 3. Rebound, Brooklyn.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
Well, sharp interior passing is so important. The best way to create high percentage buckets.
Russell against Conley. Mr. Gobert. Back to Conley. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. That's on D'Angelo Russell. Even now, Stan in his late 30s, Mike Conley still able to perform at a very high level.
Well, Kevin, his father was a gold medalist in track and field. So even as Mike Jr. has maybe lost a step, he's still able to compete athletically.
And he knocks down the first one.
Well, respected both on and off the floor, Conley is one of those guys that leads by example.
Reed, he's checked in for Minnesota. Alexander Walker comes in for Edwards. And so Mike Conley nails both of them.
Yeah, great effort tonight, and he's been rewarded with trips to the line.
Outside Wilson. Back to Russell. Unloads from 13. Conley grabs the miss.
He is really scuffling this quarter offensively. Perhaps a little frustration setting in.
Fires from deep. That's no good, and now he's missed two and made two. Lewis against DiVincenzo. Lewis passes to Sharp. Back to Lewis. Pass to Russell. Here's Clowney. And shot on the way. And it's Sharp missing.
Well, that one should be in his wheelhouse, but just off the mark.
Randall against Russell. On the wing, DiVincenzo. Reed with a screen for DiVincenzo. And there's the try. And he bangs it home with one hand.
Never a bad idea to run the old pick play.
You're right. And if it produces a slam like that, we'll probably see more of them.
Yeah, defensive breakdown there. Gotta communicate and switch that screen.
Here's Wilson following the bucket by the Timberwolves. Here's Sharp, and then Sharp with the dunk.
For a center, he's maybe undersized, but his ability to get in the air to make a play balances that out.
Now, here's DiVincenzo. He's got 5. Sinks that one from the post. DiVincenzo's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
And that pick takes the D totally out of the equation.
Yeah, you've got to lock and trail hard. You can't allow him a clean look from that.
Sharp finds Russell.
First quarter.
1:56 left to play in the first. Plays it up and banks it in. Russell's got his 2nd basket.
An active competitor, Russell won't go down without a fight, especially around the rim.
Reed with a screen for Randall. And he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a 3-point play chance here for him. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for Minnesota.
Well, yeah, early on, the mid-range jumpers have been an important part of their attack. They're going old school.
And another key for them tonight, attacking the basket. Taking it right to the hoop, never a bad idea.
Williams, he's checked in for Russell. That one misses for Randall.
And, you know, one thing you have to admire about Randall is his hunger to get better. He is a real leader who leads by example.
Now here's Lewis. 8 points his last outing. To the paint. Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. Here's Alexander Walker. He's guarded by Williams. 1:10 left here in the first quarter. Here's Randall. Rebounded by the Nets. Williams looking over the floor. Outside Wilson. Sharp with it. Looking at his point production, he averages almost 8 points a game. Williams passes to Sharp. And then Sharp with the dunk.
Straight power, homie. I mean, he ripped it down with both hands.
Absolutely a resounding dunk. Reed finds Randall. Now DiVincenzo. That's in, coming off an assist from Randall. DiVincenzo's got 10.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
Lewis sets the pick for Williams. A 3-ball. Drops in the tray. 6 points for him.
Matching baskets from the perimeter and the earmark of today's game.
Yeah, sometimes you get in a shootout like this, but you just hope that you can get a stop first.
Here's Wilson. Oh, my goodness, with no time left on the clock.
Without a moment to spare, he guts this one out.
What poise, what focus. That's an impressive shot.
It's been all about Keon Johnson for the Brooklyn Nets. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. We've got more in store for you right after this. Close game underway so far. We'll see if either of these teams can jump out in the second quarter. And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Nets.
Well, their game plan has been very effective so far. They're working the ball inside, putting constant pressure on the defense.
Oh, man, their mid-range jumper also has been on fire. Tough to beat a group of guys shooting with that much confidence.
And the defense of the Timberwolves stand as good as it gets.
Well, Kevin, they can compete with anyone when it comes to size, not just up front, but on the wings. They're long and athletic, but it all comes down to execution, and they get it done.
And so in the game for the Timberwolves, Nickeil Alexander-Walker out there with Dante DiVincenzo. Then there's McDaniels. Then there's Reed. And it's Clark in at the 3 slot. Now here's DiVincenzo. Back to McDaniel. Reed with a screen for McDaniel. Driving the lane. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And standing 6'9", Jaden McDaniels, possessing tremendous length for a perimeter defender.
Yeah, Kevin, and he can really move his feet, too. Jaden McDaniels is clearly one of the best and most versatile perimeter defenders in the league.
The free throw drops from McDaniels. You coached Stan at various levels for 30 years. How has the transition been to the broadcasting business?
Well, Kevin, it's been great because of people like you and because I'm undefeated.
Right. But do you miss the aftermath when there's at least a score sheet? There's a scorecard that says win or loss.
I do miss that. There's no question. I miss the competition. I miss the camaraderie of building toward a result. But I've started to get some of that in broadcasting as I've gotten to know my partners better.
Now it's great being your partner.
Likewise.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. No good that time. Excellent D there from Williams. Wilson the pass to Lewis. Outside Wilson. And again, no good by Brooklyn. Minnesota in the lead. Now here's McDaniels. Coming in off a 12-point game his last outing. Pass to Alexander Walker. Now here's DiVincenzo. And here is McDaniel. Kwame pulls it in.
And he's a good shooter from outside, but not sure from that deep.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's jacking him up from way out there these days. You want guys to stay within themselves.
Now here's Wilson. 12 points his last outing. Here's Sharp. And again, it's the Nets missing. Here's DiVincenzo. Pass to Clark. McDaniels against Williams. Reed with a screen on Williams. Here's McDaniels. That one dropped for his second bucket. Mark him 2 for 4.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Now Sharp, guarded by Reed. Sharp, the pass to Williams. Lewis with it. Defended by DiVincenzo. Right side, Williams. Knocked away. And now the Timberwolves on the break. And finished off by McDaniels.
What bounce from McDaniels, just leaping into the air for that dunk.
Outside Williams. Lewis sets the pick for Williams. Sharp sets the pick for Williams. So for the Nets, Martin's checked in for Williams. And Trendon Watford subbed in for Wilson. Minnesota also with the sub. Miller's checked in. Timberwolves leading by 5. And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Kevin, thank you very much. The Timberwolves have become a rough and rugged team. As wingman Jaden McDaniels said, we don't let nobody push us around. We're always being physical defensively. I feel like we're a tough team, super tough. Kevin, they certainly have the size to hold their own.
Always being physical. But David, that's their identity. And we thank you for the report.
Assisted buckets. Every team wants them. They show you're running effective team offense.
Clark outside. Reed with a screen on Lewis. Pass to Reed. Shoots the 3. And the 3 ball is good. Reed's got the lead up to 8 now for Minnesota.
You don't want to leave Reed any space out there. He's an efficient three-point shooter.
Here's Lewis. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Here's Watford, defended by DiVincenzo. It's stolen. And now the Timberwolves on the break. And slam dunk by Clark.
Excellent on both ends of that play.
Yeah, the steal was sharp, but the slam topped it off.
And that is why you want to run off turnovers. Get down the floor before the defense is set.
It's the Nets now after the basket by Minnesota. Now Watford. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. And it's Martin missing. Now the Timberwolves with it. This run now up to 13-2. Clark inside. Who is on him? A 3 for DiVincenzo. That's no good, but just his first miss in 5 shots. Nets trail by 10. Pass to Sharp. And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession. And a look at the block shot number over the last few seasons for Nicholas Claxton.
The blocks just aren't coming for him nearly as much as they were a few years ago. I think he's lost a little something in terms of that intimidation factor and that ability to change a game with his interior defense, and that's too bad.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Rudy Gobert, he's checked in for Miller. Edwards comes in for Clark. And Dillingham subbed in for Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Dillingham. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line.
Second personal foul.
And Greg, talk about a guy who can create for himself. Dillingham can already score on elite defender.
Yeah, and Kevin, a lot of that is his footwork. You can see the hours he's put into it. And then add in the body control and quickness. Good luck slowing this young man down.
That free throw, no good. And the league giving a bit more leeway, GA, to defenders. As a hard-nosed defender yourself, I'm sure you like that change.
Oh, I do. I mean, we all love the intensity of playoff basketball. So why not bring a certain level of physicality to the regular season?
He hits the second from the line. Nets trail by 11. And we got a timeout here called by Jordy Fernandez. Wants to regroup and go over the strategy. We got a moment here. Let's now see who the league's top scorers are. The fourth spot held by Anthony Edwards.
And his contribution to his team offensively cannot be understated. He is always leading the way for them with his ability to put up points.
And Brooklyn has possession. 11-point game. Watford with it. Outside, Martin. Pass to Claxton. 2 on the clock. With the shot. They get it back. Johnson finds Claxton. Over to the left wing. Now here's Johnson. Defended by Gobert. Here's Claxton. Misses and the dry spell continues. Timberwolves leading by 11. It's Edwards on the wing. He's coming off a 34-point game against Denver. DiVincenzo passes to Gobert. Over Johnson. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. Brooklyn's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Wilson the pass to Watford. Lets a floater go, and he trims the lead to single digits. Watford's got 4 points in the quarter. Here's Minnesota. They're on a 14-4 run. Outside, Edwards. DiVincenzo with the screen for Edwards. Inside, it's stolen by Johnson. Martin against DiVincenzo. Johnson outside. Watford passes to Johnson. Here's Wilson. Edwards defending. A shot by Wilson, no good. So for the Timberwolves, their last game a win against the Nuggets in Ball Arena. Outside, Edwards. Strong move inside by Edwards.
Well, Edwards is such a strong player. Skilled at absorbing contact and still finishing.
Johnson, the pass to Wilson. Back to Johnson. Oh, Claxton in position. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
And hard to decide which is better, the pass, the catch, or the slam.
Oh, there's no wrong answer. Sensational alley-oop. And we've got a timeout called from Chris Finch. He wants to make some adjustments to the game plan, clearly. Williams is checked in for Wilson. Johnson comes in for Martin. And D'Angelo Russell subbed in for Trendon Watford. And then for Minnesota, Randall's checked in for Reed. McDaniels comes in for Dante DiVincenzo. And Mike Conley subbed in for Dillingham. Outside, Edwards. Back to McDaniel. Pass to Edwards from past the arc. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
Well, despite his lack of efficiency, the team has put together a good offensive effort tonight.
And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession.
And taking a look now at the stats for Johnson. Breaking down his play since the All-Star break. Averaging 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. Nothing about his numbers really jump out at you, but he'll come up with a timely play or two every game.
Yeah, look, it's not about being a stat stuffer. It's about being a guy coaches can count on and an asset to the team as a whole.
Now Conley. After Anthony Edwards missed from long range. Good on the three-point shot. Conley's got his third basket of the night right there.
Well, Conley has that steady floor general demeanor. They love to have him running the pick and roll.
Conley against Russell. Tries the spin move. Tries again. He lays it in. Russell's got 6 points.
Well, his rebounding is such a boost for this team, especially when it comes on the offensive end.
Edwards passes to Randall. No good from outside. And so it's Russell with it. He'll bring it up for the Nets. Trailing by 10. Johnson surveying the floor. Russell finds Williams. Claxton with it. Over Conley. Up and in from the low block. 6 points for Nick Claxton.
Unselfish basketball. That's what coaches love to see.
Back to Conley. Pass to Randall. Launches it. It's hauled in by Claxton. Claxton's got 7 rebounds in the game. Outside Williams. Now Claxton. Now here is Russell. The Nets working the ball around now. 5 to shoot. The 3 from Johnson. Good on the triple. And now it's only a 5-point Timberwolves lead.
Well, that's a shot you don't mind him taking. Gets a good look and trusts his shot to knock down the 3.
Conley with the screen on Johnson. Here's Randall. And off the front iron, and in it goes. 9 points in the game so far.
And we've seen Randall add a 3-point shot. However, this is the area of the court he's most comfortable, that mid-range.
Now here's Johnson. They picked up 24 points in their last one against Dallas. Russell with a wide-open look. It's good. Great play by Williams to set it up. Williams has got 3 assists now in this one. Minnesota leading by 4. And here's Edwards. He has 7. Out to the right wing. Gobert finds Edwards. Brooklyn with the rebound. Claxton's got 8 rebounds in this game. Johnson with it. Conley picks him up. Russell from long range. And the Nets, another 3.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Timberwolves have gone 8 of 16 from the field in the second quarter. A nice, efficient 50%. Randall outside. McDaniels gets a wide-open look. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. McDaniels got 11 points.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Here's Russell. Gobert with the block.
So good at finding these rejections. Gobert has all the physical tools and razor-sharp reflexes as a defender.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
He can't get that one to fall. And so it's Minnesota with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. Back to the action in just a minute.
Fans, please direct your attention to the second quarter. And get ready for the fan half-court shot. Give me a beat. They're measuring up the shot. Nice try. Fans, let's hear it for our contestant. Well done.
Hey, everybody. Psst. I got a secret. We're approaching the playoffs, and we are starting the show with a breakdown of the Western Conference standings.
I think for the Timberwolves, they're playing up to expectations. Maybe they like to be doing more than that, but I think they're ready to make some noise in the playoffs. That's when you turn up.
And now taking a look at that first half action, it was a less than ideal start for the Nets.
One thing that's kept them close, putting in work on the offensive glass. They're feasting on second chances.
Yeah, they've been active, and they're playing with intensity.
And that concludes halftime. Now time to send it over to Kevin Harlan as the game's about to resume.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. If you look at D'Angelo Russell, what a contribution.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
Yeah, I'd love to see what they drew up in the locker room, because you're right. He's the problem right now.
Here's Russell. Down on the block, it's Johnson with Claxton. Johnson is out there with D'Angelo Russell, and it's Williams at the small forward spot. And that's the group for Jordi Fernandez as we begin the second half. Now here's Conley. Edwards drawing the double team. Gobert, and that's good.
Well, it's exactly what Gobert wants offensively. He wants to attack at the closest range possible.
And Greg, it didn't take long for Anthony Edwards to prove himself in the NBA.
There's so much to like about his game. As outstanding as his offense is, his defense cannot be overlooked. He is a lockdown presence when he needs to be.
Conley against Russell. Conley kicks to Randall. Shoots over Johnson. And there's another one for the Timberwolves.
From that in-between range, they've been the much better team.
On the wing, Johnson. Outside, Russell. Johnson with a screen on Conley. And it's Russell missing. Timberwolves leading by 7. Outside, Conley. Third quarter of basketball. We're about a minute and a half in. Gobert against Claxton. Outside, Edwards. And the rejection by Claxton. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Brooklyn's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Russell inside, covered by Conley. A shot by Williams, no good. And so Conley will bring the ball up for Minnesota. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. After this one, they're off to Philadelphia to take on the 76ers. And that game will be game 3 of 5 away from home. And finished off by Gobert.
Well, I like when Gobert's teammates use his length on offense. Textbook alley-oop there.
Johnson outside. Russell against Conley. Johnson sets the screen for Russell. And again, it's the Nets missing.
And with that miss, they're just 1 for 4 to start the third quarter.
With a short break in the action, gives us a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge.
Kevin, Mike Conley's leadership is huge for the Wolves. Rudy Gobert says his presence on the court, but especially in the locker room, is invaluable. Coach Chris Finch said he's given us everything and more. Conley says to have this kind of trust from everyone is why I'm here. This is what I'm supposed to do. Kevin?
He is a class act. David, thanks. And we got a timeout here called by Jordy Fernandez. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline. Let's take a second now to bring up a list of the centers and power forwards from around the NBA who have been money at the charity stripe in the second half of the season. You look at Johnson, second in the NBA, so great from the line.
And a lot of these big men take the confidence they have in the paint straight to the free throw line with them. I mean, that makes them very hard to handle.
Yeah, what a luxury for the coaches. They can trust their bigs to make free throws. That takes a load of stress away.
Claxton, no good.
They've come out a little cold after that halftime break. Just 1 of 5 from the field to start the third quarter.
And Randall throws it down.
And this is how Randall likes to operate, taking it in to the defense over and over again.
Johnson outside. Russell finds Williams. They could use a bucket. Out to Russell. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Williams.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Timberwolves leading by 13. Conley, the pass to McDaniels. Back to Conley. Outside Edwards. No one near Randall as he lets it go. Off target with his 3. For Brooklyn, they've gone only 1 of 5 from the field since halftime. Very slow start offensively. Williams kicks to Johnson. The Nets working the ball around now. Pass to Russell. Over Conley. Count that one. And the Timberwolves lead has been cut to just 11 points in the basket from Russell.
It's nice to see Russell's discipline. Stays patient and earns the shots he gets.
Outside Edwards. Trying to break that ice cold. That is a great finish!
Oh, my. Wow, this is how explosive Edwards can be. He finishes with such force at the rim.
And they're bringing you up close and personal on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Russell passes to Claxton. And here is Williams. Johnson outside. Pass to Johnson. Johnson surveying the floor. Johnson can't hit. Minnesota with the ball. They're on a 10-2 run here. Here's Randall. Here's Conley. Out to Edwards. And that one falls coming off Conley's feet. Conley's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Nets trail by 16. Russell passes to Claxton. Williams with the ball from the arc. Hands it from downtown. Williams has got 9.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
Well, you know it's become a three-point shooting league. Teams shooting a steady diet from outside.
It's hauled in by Claxton. Brooklyn's gone a less than productive 2 of 6 from three-point land in the second half. Russell passes to Johnson. Johnson outside. Just 5 to shoot. Johnson the screen. Russell kicks to Johnson. Here's the 3. And the Nets, another 3.
Consistency all game long. He's going to continue, I think, to have to take it over to get them back in the game.
Conley against Russell. Conley dishes to Randall. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And we have so many great players in this NBA. I mean, every night, from top to bottom, each roster, there's so many great players. But in your opinion, who is the toughest to game plan against?
Wow, that is a tough question because there's so many of them where there's no good answers. You know, let's take Jokic, for example. If you play him one-on-one, he's going to score virtually every time. If you come in, double-team him, send the second defender, he's going to make the right pass all the time. There's no way to absolutely stop him. You just do the best you can to limit their team.
The great ones always have answers, don't they, Stan?
If they didn't, Kevin, they wouldn't be the great ones.
That's right. Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Brownie's checked in, and it's Wilson in for Johnson. Both free throws good from Randall. And it's Russell with the ball. He'll bring it up for the Nets. A 12-point game. Pass to Clowney. Back to Russell. This one for 3. And rebounded by McDaniels.
Well, he hit a couple of threes in the first half, but none since then.
Now, Alexander Walker. He's guarded by Williams. Randall from outside. That shot is off. The Nets have gone a somewhat subpar 4 of 10 on their shots in the second half so far. Claxton inside. Randall on him. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. All right, well, a look at how the points have been generated so far. Scoring breakdown for the Timberwolves.
Well, the mid-range has been open for them, so you've got to take what the defense gives, and that's been a great attack in this situation.
And you also have to applaud how they've attacked the interior in this game. A lot of points happening for them in the paint tonight.
And that one misses. Good on the second free throw. Timberwolves leading by 11. Randall surveying the D. McDaniels against Wilson. Now here's McDaniels. He's tightly guarded. Over Wilson. Pass to Alexander Walker. Randall outside. Goes back up. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's on Nick Claxton.
And the physicality of Randall's game, impressive. It's what earns him those calls.
He's made 3 of his 4 free throw attempts in the game.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. Lewis checked in for Williams. And a change for the Timberwolves. Clark, he's checked in for McDaniels. Both free throws good from Randall.
We're still waiting for that first miss from the line this half.
DiVincenzo against Russell. Back to Wilson. Pass to Claxton. The Nets need to get a shot off here. And the Nets miss again. Minnesota leading by 13. DiVincenzo finds Randall. DiVincenzo with the screen on Lewis. Three-pointer, Randall. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Randall's got 11 points in the quarter.
Yeah, an underrated ball handler. Randall can beat you off the dribble. He keeps pressure on the defense.
Russell looking it over. Back to Wilson. Pass to Lewis. Wilson against Clark. There's Russell with the three. Rebound by Alexander Walker.
No doubt the fight's there. They are trying to battle back, but he's just really struggling this quarter.
And that one's good by Clark.
Great find. Leading his teammate right to the bucket.
And the Nets with possession here. They trail by 18. Lewis outside. Pass to Russell. Looking to end the run. And the slam dunk by Russell.
Displaying superb leaping ability. Russell's electric in the air for someone his size.
Randall outside for the three. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
Yeah, this quarter's all about him. He's just dominating at the offensive end.
And you have to like how they're moving the ball right now.
Snappy passes to ready shooters. It's basketball 101, but boy, is it working.
Now here's Lewis. No scoring in this one. And he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for two. The Nets shooting their fourth and fifth attempts at the free throw line tonight.
And typically a strength of theirs, 79% on the season.
He misses the free throw. So for the Nets, Sharp comes in for Nicholas Claxton. And Martin subbed in for Wilson. Naz Reid, he's checked in for Minnesota. He doesn't get the second one. Timberwolves leading by 19. Near the three-point line, it's DiVincenzo. That's in, coming off an assist from Randall.
A fantastic decision-making big. Randall with the right choice there, finding the open man.
Here's Clowney. He's defended by Randall. Here's Russell. And the layup is good. 18 points for D'Angelo Russell.
And not being as aggressive from the three-point line anymore. They had a lot more attempts in that first half.
Randall a screen on Russell. And the wide-open shot from DiVincenzo. And another three for Minnesota.
Yeah, great outside shooting, really fueling this run.
Lewis on the way. Pass to Sharp. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Here's Clowney. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Here's Randall, and then Randall slams it in.
Hey, whatever adjustments they made at halftime, they are working to perfection.
Well, sometimes you just make shots, but they've certainly come out on a tear here in the third quarter.
Now, here is Russell. 18 points for him.
Whether it's points, steals, or passes, Russell is out here working hard to give you what you need.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
D'Angelo Russell.
And he makes the first. And so Russell hits them both.
Yeah, I like that they haven't lost their aggressiveness here in the second, despite being down.
Here's Randall. The rebound by Sharp. And so it's Russell with it. He'll bring it up for Brooklyn. To the inside. Stolen by Reed. DiVincenzo against Russell. And out of bounds as the Nets gain possession.
And let's check out some stats for D'Angelo Russell. How last month turned out for him. Getting around 12 points a game, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. And with the ball in his hands, he is an outstanding distributor.
Well, he is so unselfish. That's why guys love playing alongside him.
The Nets making a switch here. Watford's checked in. The Timberwolves also with the sub. Einard's checked in. Here's Watford, defended by DiVincenzo. Pass to Clowney. 6 to shoot. In the corner, it's Watford. Lets the 3 fly. A rebound by the Timberwolves. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Here's Minot. Here's Alexander Walker. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Picked by Clark. From deep. And it's blocked by Lewis. No good that time. The 3 quarters of play all in the books. And this one all but over already. The Timberwolves on top. They finish off the 3rd quarter with an energy burst. A 19-7 run. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Brooklyn. And we reach the 4th quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. Timberwolves leading by 22. And a look at the 5 for the Timberwolves to start the 4th. Dillingham is out there with Dante DiVincenzo. And it's Joe Ingles. Then there's Reed. And it's Garza in at the center position.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
To the middle. Lewis passes to Sharp. Stolen by Reed. Now, here's Ingles. Covered by Watford. Dillingham, no good. The Nets shooting 47% from the floor. Getting it done. Pass to Beekman. So, Stan, I've been wondering about these different approaches. The development system for youth basketball is vastly different in the U.S. than in Europe. Which do you think is best?
Well, I think in terms of developing skills, Kevin, we've seen it. The European players of all sizes have very well-rounded games skill-wise. They do a lot of work on a daily basis developing those skills, whereas in the U.S., our young guys play a lot of games in the AAU system. Skill development not as strong, but they do learn to compete on an everyday basis.
Here's Beekman. Just over a minute and a half played here in the 4th. Pass to Lewis. There's the pick. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Sharp. And then Sharp with the dunk.
Well, he can get you the ball in a number of ways. That time with a great bounce pass.
Now Dillingham. And here is DiVincenzo. Covered by Martin. 3-pointer. It's off, but still a great shooting night. 6 of 8 from the field in the game. Pass to Beekman. Outside, Martin. Sharp finds Watford. Bangs home the trifecta.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on him.
And so Chris Finch calls for the timeout. And clearly an important juncture. He's going to have some choice words with his team.
Let's hear it. Make some noise for Team Hype.
Hill is checked in for Minnesota. Alexander Walker comes in for Joe Ingles. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. Pass to Miller. Reed with a screen for Miller. The Timberwolves again can't hit. Nets trail by 17. Now here is Martin. Now Watford. And the Nets, another three.
And that's back-to-back threes. The D just seems to be slacking off a little bit.
Timberwolves leading by 14. Here's Dillingham. And the basket is good. The call goes his way, and we could be looking at a three-point play.
Robert Dillingham.
Some changes for Brooklyn. Johnson, he's checked in for Martin. And Lewis subbed in for Whitehead. And a change for the Timberwolves. Edwards is checked in.
Dillingham. One time on the line.
And that one misses. And the league limiting players from making public trade demands, which I guess makes sense. It's a big change from the past, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it saves franchises from being put in a tough spot. Keeps a player's trade value high, which helps the team they're leading.
And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
First personal foul. First team foul. At the line, Cameron Johnson. Stepping to the line with 2 shots.
And that one falls for Johnson. Minnesota making a switch here. Minod's checked in. So Johnson hits 2 of them. A look at the clock, a little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. Wilson against Edwards. Takes the 3. The Timberwolves again can't hit. And the Nets with possession. They've outscored them 10 points to 2 during this run. Johnson, the pass to Wilson. Back to Johnson. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot. Timberwolves leading by 14. Pass to Dillingham. That one falls. Dillingham's got 4 points this quarter.
That's just a great pass. Excellent vision to see the open spot in the defense and lead him to the score.
Wilson with it. Now here's Johnson. 6 on the shot clock. Reed with the block.
Well, Reed really gets after it on defense. He's a big man that loves coming up with blocks.
They get the rebound. Edwards, good.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Watford with it. That one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
Well, he's playing great tonight, but not quite well enough to carry the entire team. They need to find some other contributors.
Oh, here's Edwards. Fires the 3. Buries it from 3-point range. Edwards got 10 points here in the second half.
That gives him his second 3 of the half with 3 total for the game.
Here's Watford. Johnson outside. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. Down low. And that one is stuffed right through.
And Edwards makes so many winning plays, including finding his open teammates.
Who is outside? In the NBA, helping establish academies and even leagues, Greg, on foreign soil. Do you expect more to come?
I do, Kevin. I think the league recognizes it has a big role to play in the expansion of the game globally. Investments being made with the long-term view in mind.
Stolen by Lewis. Pass to Johnson. Now, here's Sharp. And he banks in the lane.
Nice execution by the offense, generating a good look.
And so Edwards will bring it up for Minnesota. The biggest lead of the game was 24 points. Reed with a screen for Edwards. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Edwards got 7 points for the quarter.
Well, what a quarter he's had. You can tell he's in the flow. They should be looking for him every possession.
Johnson for three. It falls for his 5th field goal of the night. Shooting 5 for 8.
Yeah, you have to give him a lot of credit here. He's turned things around after a disappointing first half.
Here's Edwards. Wilson with the block. And he recovers it. And so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. And right now, let's watch that terrific swat.
And that has got to help the morale of this team. Let's see if that sets up a run here.
Both teams changing it up here. McDaniels against Williams. Back to Conley. Beyond the arc. Nailed from three-point land.
3.
And the Timberwolves lead by 19.
Just a veteran play by Conley there, giving the D no time to react off the catch.
Pass to Williams. Russell with it. Covered by Conley. Conley against Russell. Clock at 6. Gobert with the block.
And when Gobert is playing with this kind of aggression on that end, there aren't many better at defending.
Shot clock at 2. Johnson finds Williams. And Williams is right there.
And that's a pure hustle play, getting to the offensive glass for the tip-in.
And that's the kind of quality you see in any strong offensive rebounder, isn't it? Now here's Edwards. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. That's on Keon Johnson. And despite his young age, Coach Van Gundy, Anthony Edwards' leadership qualities growing day by day.
Yeah, Kevin, and a lot of it's because he is great at both ends of the court. Confident, charismatic, upbeat. He's learning that delicate balance between taking over a game and bringing his teammates along for the ride.
And the first one drops.
And talented in so many ways. Edwards is focusing on 2 things: the refining of his shot mechanics and the sustained level of engagement.
And Edwards drops them both.
Yeah, and their free throw shooting has really improved here in the second half.
Pass to Claxton. And here is Johnson. Russell with it. Conley picks him up. Outside, Russell. Claxton, a screen on Conley. Inside. And Claxton throws it down.
And the precision passing of Russell, this time out of the pick and roll.
And here's Randall. Gobert with a screen for Edwards. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. McDaniels against Williams. Johnson outside. Back to Williams. Russell from long range. Mike Conley grabs the miss.
Yeah, there's no reason for the defense to get out on him right now. Just let him keep taking that shot until he shows them he's going to knock it down.
Russell inside, covered by Conley. Russell, no luck.
Might be time for a little different approach. His shot hasn't been falling here in the second half.
Randall outside. Conley with the screen on Claxton. Pass to Edwards. Here's Gobert. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. You know, Coach, what more can you ask? The reigning 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert.
Well, Kevin, since you ask, his impact in the playoffs hasn't always been the same as during the regular season. That's got to be the next step.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, you know, every team is looking for a defensive anchor. Gobert fills that role to perfection.
Both shots good from the stripe.
And Gobert knows his role on this team. Rebound, block shots, and look to score near the basket.
And Jordi Fernandez has called a timeout. He's clearly intent on wanting to lock in and make sure everyone's on the same page.
Give it up for Team Height.
And now a moment to present the New Balance Player of the Game, Julius Randle.
And guys, he's been about as close to perfection as you can be. The intensity he's played with has been amazing. Just no let up. And as fired up as he's been, he's never let his emotions get out of control.
And with their spot in the postseason assured, he's picking up just at the right time to be on top of his game. Nets trail by 19. Johnson outside. Johnson kicks to Williams. Johnson sets the screen for Williams. Back to Johnson. Out to Russell. Takes a 3. Minnesota with the rebound. Gobert's got the glass covered here tonight. 11 boards for him. Conley dishes to Gobert. Back to Conley. It's deflected and stolen by Russell.
Last 2 minutes to play. Fourth quarter.
Pass to Johnson. Conley against Russell. Over Conley. Hits the jump hook. Russell's got 22. Minnesota leading by 17. Outside Conley. It's Edwards on the wing. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul.
Johnson.
That's on Keon Johnson.
Well, Edwards brings so much power to his game
Shooting for
inside.
Minnesota, Anthony Edwards. Yeah, the line with 2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
He throw good, Edwards.
Well, we know Edwards has an outstanding skill set, but what makes him truly special is his competitive will and ability to handle high-pressure moments.
And a new group out there on the floor for the Nets. Big group substitution now for Minnesota. Garza's checked in. Reed comes in for Julius Randle. Alexander Walker, he's checked in for McDaniels. And Dillingham subbed in for Mike Conley.
Well, what you have to love about Edwards is his drive. This is a guy that wants to be an all-time great when it's all said and done.
Now here is Martin. Pass to Iwoma. Back to Watford. Here's Iwoma. Defended by Alexander Walker. Shot clock at 5. Here's Iwoma. And he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
15 seconds.
Something we're used to seeing here in the NBA, Coach. Retired players being critical of the younger generations. What's your assessment?
I think it's unfortunate, Kevin. I really do. I think the approach should more be from the retired players. They should have an appreciation of what they built and really enjoy the accomplishments of the current players. And then on the other hand, the current players need to look back and respect the foundation that those former players built for them.
Wilson, he's checked in for Brooklyn. And Sharp drops them both. 1:12 left in the fourth quarter. Minnesota leading by 17.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Timberwolves.
They never settled for mediocre shots.
And Kevin, they had great penetration this time out.
And so checking out their season record, this game will become their 45th win.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And something we've come to almost expect is greatness from this guy. Such an overall great performance it was for Julius Randle.
Well, he was the reliable option for them on just about every possession. So dependable, always making the right decision.
And it's just competing, giving your best when it matters most.
Yeah, they've got clutch guys on this team, and they never let up.
Now, here's Sean. Trains the three-pointer. We've got 22 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Well, for the Timberwolves, they can just run out the clock here. Here's Alexander Walker, covered by Martin. So it's Minnesota winning this one easily. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much. Rudy, your impact on the game defensively, always something to watch. What's your approach at that end?
Just try to win games, and my teammates without trusting me, being aggressive on the balls and try to be aggressive at the rim. And when we play as a team like we do tonight, it's tough to beat us.
You were in full Stifle Tower mode tonight, man. Congrats. Back to you.
Thank you for that, David. And that about wraps it up. So now for Greg Anthony, Stan Van Gundy, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. But as we go, let's take a look at our player of the game, Julius Randle.